The next division of the family is the Hanna branch, and 3 people are going to present it, and I'd like to start with my uncle, Sam Becker.
If you have this family tree that Jack passed out, that's what I'll talk from. Huna, sitting here in the center, married Herschel Pieker. And, this is Huna here. Anyway, they had 7 children, 4 of whom themselves had children, 3 never had any children, and those 4 and their children and their children's children were pretty prolific, as you could see from the large group up here for the first picture. My father, Neah Bamunin, was the oldest of those 7 children. When he was 17 years old, his parents decided, and I suspect it was Hannah who decided, that he ought to go to America and make money to send back to help support the family. And what she did, along with the 3 older girls in the family, who were Sarah Gittel and Esther Milka and Haya, made gloves during the winter time, and they would sell them, and from the savings from that, they got clothes for my father to go to America. At the same time, Huna got her sister, Henka, and her husband, Abe, to send a ticket for my father to come over to this country, and it cost $75. And that was in 1912. My father, at the age of 17, came by himself. He came through Quebec and then down into Detroit. Because he couldn't speak any English, he didn't, when they asked him, didn't know how to spell Neah Pieker, and so the agents there gave him a new name, Nathan Becker. He came to this country, he came to St. Louis, and my mother said that one of Henka's son-in-laws, my father worked for him in a shoe repair shop. Now, I don't know whether any of Henka's son-in-laws was the shoemaker, but it was some relative of Henka's who sort of made my father an apprentice in his shoe shop in St. Louis. And my father worked for him until he was able to save enough to pay off the $75. Then he went down to the leather goods store on Sunday, wholesale leather goods place, where all the shoemakers from that region of the country would come and buy supplies. And my father went there and he asked around looking for a job, and there was some woman buying for her husband's shoe repair shop in Quincy, Illinois. And my father inquired about a job, and she said, well, they could use him if he would work hard, and so he went to Quincy. And his first week there, he met the sister of this woman who had just come over from Russia at the age of 16, and that was my mother. And they had one date then, and a few minutes, which was on a Jewish holiday. The next Jewish holiday, they had their second date. On the third Jewish holiday, they had their third date. And my mother said my father told her that he was all alone in this country. He was lonely, he needed somebody to take care of him, and so he wanted my mother to marry him. And amazingly, she did. Hannah was very unhappy when she heard that my father was engaged, because she thought that my father would stop sending money back to Poland, back to Semyonich. That did not endear her to my mother, and my mother insisted they would always send at least as much money as they were sending then, and they did continue to do so. Even though they had 3 children, by 1920 they still saved enough to bring all of the rest of the family over to this country. And that was Sarah Gittel, some of whose children are here, Esther Malka, Sam Bluestein's mother, Tana, Haya, Shifra, and Samuel.